We are dedicating most of our broadcast on Wednesday to a live special focusing on mental health. It's called Stop the Stigma, a conversation about mental health. We want to remove the shame and blame from the discussion around mental illness diagnoses. And this morning, as part of our commitment to tackling these issues, we're talking about Swedish DJ Tim Bergling, known around the globe as Avicii. He revolutionized electronic dance music and collaborated with many of the world's top artists. In April 2018, Tim Bergling died by suicide while on vacation in Oman. He was just 28. After his death, his parents started the Tim Bergling Foundation to advocate for the recognition of suicide as a global health emergency and to remove the stigma of mental illness. We recently spoke with Tim's father, Klas Bergling, in his first U.S. broadcast interview. How do you want people to remember your son?
As a good person, a good producer. He had a good heart.
With his mega hit, Wake Me Up, released in 2013, Avicii became a global superstar. The song went to #1 in 22 countries. But Avicii was ambivalent about his success. In a documentary filmed before his death, he talked openly about his anxiety, depression, and addiction.
Everyone knows that I've been anxious and, everything, and that I've been trying.
I think it's brave of him to open up that way.
Klas Bergling remembers his son as a shy boy growing up in Stockholm. When did you first see his love of music?
At home. He was singing the Swedish national hymn.
Was he good?
Not particular, but very loud and very proud. But obviously he was super talented.
You must have been proud to see that.
Oh, yeah, sure. Of course.
Klas and his wife, Anki, saw the first signs of Tim's anxiety when he was a teenager.
When you have a child that's not feeling well, you try everything to get the situation right again, and you try to understand what's going on. So we went to a psychiatrist.
Yes.
Yes. And Tim was, I think he was 14 or 15. He sort of calmed down Tim.
As Tim's career took off, Klas stayed involved. You ran his business.
Yeah, I did. I kept the books.
Yeah.
I ironed his what do you say, receipts?
His receipts?
Yeah, because he put everything down in his pocket.
Did you really iron them?
Yeah, I did, actually. I did.
As Avicii, Tim traveled the world, performing up to 250 shows a year.
He was a very determined guy. He went all in.
He obviously loved it.
Yes, I think so. Of course, after a couple of years, love of the work can be also a burden.
Father and son talked often by phone.
We talked a lot about deep things.
Did he talk to you about his anxiety?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I had experience myself as young. If you have experienced it yourself, you know that there are ways to get more balanced life.
In 2016, Avicii quit touring and instead focused on making music.
He was much healthier and he started exercising, and things really turned into a very, very good direction.
Less than 2 years later, Tim died by suicide.
The suicide came as a shock to all of us, and we thought that he was really on a better way.
You've said you had difficulty with that word at first, suicide.
Yes, absolutely. To pronounce it is also to admit that you're part of this destiny, so to say.
How are you doing now?
Well, it's ups and downs, and it's a life before, and now it's a life after. That's the best way you can express it.
In June of this year, Tim's parents released the third Avicii album, with music he was working on just before his death. The proceeds are going to the Tim Bergling Foundation. What's your goal with the foundation?
Trying to get the stigma away from talking about mental illness and suicide. We hope we can be a voice through Tim, because Tim has so many millions of fans.
What would you say to fans of his who might be dealing with some of the things that he dealt with?
You have to talk about it, and you have to you shouldn't be afraid to ask for help.
And on December 5th in Stockholm, there will be a tribute concert, Avicii tribute concert for mental health awareness. We'll feature 19 of the original singers on Avicii's music, including Adam Lambert, Rita Ora, Aloe Black, and there'll be a 30-piece live band behind.
But Anthony, this is so frightening. Here you have the father saying we were aware that there were issues.
Yeah.
They got help for the issues. They thought that he was doing much better. He was doing music.
Yeah.
He was seemingly very happy. What are you supposed to do as a parent when you think that you've done everything and they appear to be
I think that's
on the way
what's
back?
been so hard for them to
Yeah.
handle, is that it's a constant vigil. And, you know, as a parent, you ask yourself over and over again, what else could I have done?
Yeah.
Well, glad he's bringing awareness to it.
Yes.
We're going to also be bringing awareness to it. You can see our live special, Stop the Stigma, a conversation about mental health. That is this Wednesday right here on CBS This Morning.